3, 4. Burn it down! Burn it down! Burn it down! Burn it down!
Hi, you fans. Welcome to our WL Star. We're in Arlington, Texas, our very last stop in the Lone Star State, and hot on the ladies' night burning dollhouse special, which seems to have been a big hit with you viewers. In any case, I'm Wally Carden, along with Johnny Bianco, and of course, GM Tex Lynch with the call of tonight's action. And man alive, tonight's action picks up almost exactly where we left off. It's gonna be a great call. 2 hours of our WL Mat action.
Back to our usual co-ed format after Burning Dollhouse, so expect to see both men's and ladies' competition tonight. And some of these matches, well, they are gonna be events that shape the future of this year's Sweet Revenge Summer Tour.
And guys, we're only about a week into the Sweet Revenge Summer Tour, and it's already been pretty hot, and tonight's gonna be no exception. This edition of Snarl is gonna be just as exciting.
We're starting off right away with a pretty interesting card opener, setting the rocker Rick Boogs one-on-one in a non-title matchup with Mid-Atlantic champion, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. Good evening, Arlington, and welcome to tonight's WL Snarl. Our opening non-title contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Columbus, Ohio, weighing 236 pounds, here's Rick Boogs. Mr. 80s throwback, Rockin' Rick Boogs, back with us, putting his previous loss 2 weeks ago behind him. And he's looking at a big chance even in a non-title bout with Orndorff. Of course, the Mid-Atlantic champ is heavily favored to win, especially after his short but heated rivalry with Stone Cold Steve Austin over the Mid-Atlantic title, which Orndorff regained through sheer brute force over the Texas Rattlesnake. But I don't know that Rick Boogs won't surprise Mr. Wonderful, or us, for that matter.
So what you're saying is that Rick Boogs definitely still has a chance to win in this non-title matchup over Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
Yep, that's it. Pretty much. Orndorff's got the champion's edge for sure, but Rick Boogs could still mess up his plans if he does things right. And his opponent from Orlando, Florida, weighing 254 pounds, he's the reigning RWL Mid-Atlantic champion, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Mr. Wonderful, not so wonderful to Stone Cold, assaulting Austin repeatedly while he held the Mid-Atlantic belt. Count out wins, near disqualifications. Orndorff was just out to beat on Austin until he had to admit defeat and give up the Mid-Atlantic belt. Ever since, Paul Orndorff has been getting a bit more attention between himself and the Mid-Atlantic title, and I'm thinking Orndorff's not worried about Rick Boogs or this match.
He certainly doesn't look very worried, does he?
Mr. Wonderful and his handling of Steve Austin has definitely drawn in some more fan support for Orndorff, and I think it's been well-deserved for Orndorff.
Because nobody, and I mean nobody, was expecting Paul Orndorff to out-rattlesnake the Texas Rattlesnake. But damned if he didn't succeed in doing it.
This definitely raised his stock quite a bit. Like you say, nobody was expecting him to go after Stone Cold Steve Austin with quite that level of fervor. Alright, we're lined up with a pretty good card opener right here. Referee Walt Rothburn rings the bell. The man comes center ring. Orndorff misses with a chop. Rick Boogs grapples him, gets a hold of him, has him up in the front cradle. Call away slam by Rick Boogs. Double axe handle fails to connect. Orndorff locks him up. Swing and a miss from Rick Boogs and into an atomic drop from Mr. Wonderful. Paul Orndorff rounds him up. Rick Boogs counters with a knee. Locks up Orndorff. Look at this. Great display of power here. A beautiful suplex. And a nice drop kick, too, from Rick Boogs on Mr. Wonderful. Flipping overhand right. Takes Orndorff face down to the canvas. Rick Boogs all the way topside. Getting ready to go air here as Mr. Wonderful gets up to his feet. Here we go. Double axe handle finds the mark right on the top of the head of Mr. Wonderful. Rick Boogs rounds him up. Hard whip over the top rope, out onto the apron for Mr. Wonderful. Rick Boogs politely brings him in the hard way. Orndorff misses with the crossbody. Rick Boogs tags him with another right. Well now, Rick Boogs, vertical suplex. And Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, seems to be having his share of troubles here in the early goings. As Rick Boogs sets him up for a second vertical suplex. And so far, not a lot of answered offense. A crossbody from Mr. Wonderful as he tries to battle back in this match. Knee to the midsection from Rick Boogs. A jab, but a hip toss from Rick Boogs. He is one step ahead of Orndorff here. Orndorff goes behind an elbow from Rick Boogs. Orndorff locked up, wound up, and a Russian leg sweep. Man, Rick Boogs is on fire for him. One, just the one. Paul Orndorff catches a stomp to the midsection. And here we go. Look at this, man. He's just, juggling like the Iron Sheik's Persian clubs. Rick Boogs with a rolling elbow across the chest of Mr. Wonderful. Okay. Rick Boogs with a drop kick, but Orndorff rolls out of the way. Locks him up, winds it up. There's that Popeye the Sailor Man spinach punch, as I like to call it. Orndorff pitches Rick Boogs towards the timekeeper's area, takes himself back into the ring. Referee Walt Rothburn continuing the count on Rick Boogs. Boogs, a little tentative about getting back inside that ring. But here he comes. Orndorff charges, misses with the clothesline. Rick Boogs gets a hold of him, hard Irish whip to the ropes. Rick Boogs gets a hold of him in a front cradle and another fall away slam. Man, Rick Boogs is really doing well for himself this evening. Boogs follows Orndorff on out, catches a jab to the midsection, and a hard right to the midsection from Mr. Wonderful. Orndorff catches a series of shots from Rick Boogs. Boogs with a side suplex on Mr. Wonderful. Rick Boogs with a rolling elbow across the chest. Paul Orndorff rounded up to his feet again by Rick Boogs. Boogs rolls him back inside the ring, and oh man, Rick Boogs, sensing that victory could be near here. Well, that'd be something, wouldn't it? Rick Boogs locks up Mr. Wonderful, escorts him towards the ropes, places him against the ropes, and here we go. Orndorff counters the whip, misses with the swing, but oh man, Rick Boogs takes him down again. Man, Rick Boogs has definitely got his mojo going. Side suplex from Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. Orndorff counters with a shot to the midsection of Rick Boogs. Locks him up. Hard whip to the ropes. Back body drop for Rick Boogs. Mr. Wonderful tags him with a right to the side of the head. Mr. Wonderful takes himself all the way topside, getting ready to go air on Rick Boogs again. Rick Boogs stands himself on up. An elbow right to the top of the crown for Rick Boogs. Followed up with a stomp to the leg from Paul Orndorff. Orndorff rounds him up, catches a knee to the midsection from Rick Boogs. Boogs again has him up. What a beautiful suplex. A serious display of power from Rick Boogs. Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, don't think it's all that great. Taking his time about getting back in, so Rick Boogs going to follow him on out. They lock up. Rick Boogs has him all the way up for the suplex, but Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, turns it into a bulldog, slams Rick Boogs face first into the floor. And now knuckles to the side of the temple of Rick Boogs from Mr. Wonderful. Orndorff rounds up Rick Boogs again, drives him into the barricade. Orndorff battling back here after being roughly manhandled by Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs power bombed into the lip of the apron and swung to the side. Oh man. Looks like Mr. Wonderful's done fooling around. Orndorff rolls Rick Boogs back inside the ring. Takes himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle one more time. Big time diving elbow across the lower back of Rick Boogs. Orndorff rolls him over, covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff defeats Rick Boogs by pinfall. Let's get the official time from Buck Morton.
The time, 5 minutes and 33 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Well, it looks to me like Rick Boogs did not have enough 80s in his throwback. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff picking up a 3-count pinfall win with this diving elbow off the top turnbuckle to the back of Rick Boogs. And he just went for the 1-2-3 cover, and that was it. That takes care of our first match tonight. We got a whole lot more on tap. Stick around. We'll be right back with the rest of it.